Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the men and women of the Air Force Personnel Center and the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, in keeping in one of the oldest traditions in military service, pay special tribute to Major Eldrick D. Link on the occasion of his retirement from active duty after 25 years of faithful service. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is Colonel Bert Morales, United States Air Force retired and former Vice Commander of the Air Force Office of Special Investigations. I am Major Amber Goodwin, your narrator. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation offered by Mr. Troy Chandler.
Good morning, everyone. Let us reverence. Dear Heavenly Father, we invite your holy and precious spirit into this retirement of Major Eldrick Darrell Link. But you have known the Link family for a very long time. Again, you were with them over 44 years ago when he was first born. You've been with him, Lord, throughout these decisions that he's had to make. You were with him over 25 years ago when he decided to join the United States Air Force. You've been with him over the deployments, over the missions. And again, Lord, we thank you. You were with him, Lord, as he made these decisions and chose the correct doors, the pathways of his life. You were with him also when he chose Amy as his bride over 19 years ago. At this particular point in time, we ask you continue to be with him as he closes this chapter in his life and moves on to the next. You have been a security blanket this entire time. And again, Lord, we ask that you continue to be with him as he undergoes a brand new chapter in life. These are all things we ask and pray in the holy and precious name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chandler. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Please allow me to extend a warm welcome to our special guests. Major Link's wife, Amy. His parents, Barbara and Clifton Link. Major Link's sister, Shonda Lawson. Major Link's aunt, Gretchen Alston. Major Link's fraternity brothers, the members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And Major Link's closest friends from various areas around the country. Our distinguished guests today, the Director of Personnel, Headquarters Air Force Office of Special Investigations, Ms. Esther Evans. The Vice Commander, Air Force Office of Special Investigations, Region 4, Colonel Brian Keeling. The Chief, Assignment Support Division, Headquarters Air Force Personnel Center, Colonel William Morrison. We also extend a warm welcome to all other colonels, chiefs, and co-workers who have joined us today. The military retirement ceremony is an Air Force function steeped in military tradition and history. It is a milestone which very few of our nation's citizens ever reach, and an honor bestowed upon those few who have chosen to devote the greatest portion of their adult life to the service of their country. Ahead of their own interests, regardless of the uniform worn, their service will never be forgotten. Today we are bidding farewell and celebrating the career of a great and charismatic leader whom we all know and whom we've all had the pleasure to work. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present Colonel Morales.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me back there okay? All right. This is kind of like class. Everybody wanted to sit up front. Well, thank you all for coming. A special welcome to the Link family, to Mr. and Mrs. Link, of course, Amy, Shonda, and Angresh. What a special day. This is a very special time in the person's military career. This kind of ceremony is steeped in military tradition. It's what we do to honor an individual before they leave the ranks and go into a retired status. So I thank you all for being here today to spend this important time here with the Link family to recognize Major Link. And I'm just let you guys know right now, I know Major Link is just Link, so I want to refer to him as Link, because I think a lot of folks just refer to him as Link. And I told his dad that up front, that wasn't going to offend his dad either. And his dad said, well, they call me Link too, so we're good all the way. So, 25 years, okay? 25 years. How do you summarize 25 years of dedicated service to one's country, the United States Air Force, in a matter of a few minutes? Really, you can't. Okay, it's very hard. How do you go about addressing those challenges, those milestones, all the various achievements that one makes over that period of time? The happy times, the sad times, the separations of friends and family. I mean, you just can't. But I'm going to try to do that for Major Link here in the next few minutes. So as I'm going through Link's military record, there's quite a few achievements in there. It was kind of hard to pick and choose, so I'll kind of give you guys the Reader's Digest version, if you don't mind. And as I was reviewing the record, it occurred to me that there's been a transformation for this individual. He's gone from citizen civilian to airman to non-commissioned officer to field grade officer in the United States Air Force. Very transformational. That's where I came to the conclusion. So this has been a transformational journey for Major Link. And so you ask the question, what does transform or transformational mean? And so I went to my AIM dictionary, Webster. Never go wrong with Webster. If you indulge for just a second, I'll read you what transformation means. According to Webster, it says, to change in composition or structure, a change fitting something for a new or different use or function, a major change in form or nature, a change that exalts or glorifies, a metamorphosis. I think that's what has happened over the last 25 years for Major Link. It's been a metamorphosis. It's been a change. So, 25 years. I'm going to try and take you through that transformational journey now for just a few minutes and kind of show that transformation of this citizen civilian, what we have right now, field grade officer of the United States Air Force. It starts back in 1990, right here in Texas, San Antonio. Civilian Link reports for active duty at Lackland Air Force Base. It's October. It's about probably a day like this, nice and crisp, nice 95 degrees probably, right in Texas like this time here. And a young man comes to the gates of Lackland Air Force Base. Their life changes forever. It is truly a shock to the system when you show up for basic training and you got somebody who's called a TI shouting in your face, telling you to get on this bus, get off this bus, get on this bus, get off this bus, etc. And you're going through all those weeks of indoctrination, basically, into the military culture and how we do business in the United States Air Force. So that in itself is pretty significant of a change. Going from the civilian world the comforts of Chapel Hills, North Carolina, being with family and friends, boom, United States Air Force, in your face, here we go. So Link survives basic training and is selected from tech school to be a security policeman. Back then it was still called security police, now security forces. And that is what he's going to be for the next number of years until the Air Force decides otherwise. He reports to tech school, also here in San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base, and he completes that tech school successfully. And so he's a brand new, minted, security policeman. He's got his silver badge and is ready for duty. Okay. And when he gets his first assignment, this is now 1991, by the way. He reports to Offutt Air Force Base, Nebraska. The days of SAC are still alive, Strategic Air Command, and he reports to Offutt. I'm sure the ghost of Curtis LeMay was probably still roaming the hallways in that airport. And he shows up to his new security police squadron, and he is tagged for Elite Gate Guard duty. With Elite Gate Guard, back then, was a pretty significant achievement to be chosen as an airman out of the security police squadron to go and do that, because you were the ambassador of the base. The first thing that a person recognized when they drove up to the gates of the Air Force Base was that Elite Gate Guard in that crisp uniform with white ascot and beret, and just a fantastic military demeanor. And so that was Link right there. So they recognized that. So he didn't stay there too long because his talents were already recognized. And in a short amount of time, A1C Link is now tagged to be the Wing Crime Prevention Manager, which carries a lot of responsibilities. Normally goes to an NCO, to non-commissioned officer, and he gets that job. Excels at it, does exceptionally well. But something very important happens during that period of time in Nebraska. He meets Amy, right? Probably doesn't have. Anyway, we digress. Meets Amy, and that relationship begins there, and later on in 1996, the action there. So, very, very important milestone in Link's transformation. Okay. So, tour ends in Nebraska. It's time to leave, and he gets his new orders. He's headed to the Pacific, to the Blue Ocean, and goes to Guam. Anderson Air Force Base, Guam, reports to the security police squadron out there, and assumes the responsibilities of being a law enforcement patrolman. And then later on, his talents are again recognized, and he gets to run the pass and ID section of the squadron for all visitors coming on and off the installation. But also during that period of time, he gets recognized for his talents as a basketball player. And he's on the wing basketball team, and he really starts his basketball career here in the Air Force, and spends a lot of time touring around the Pacific, right? That's where our duty was. Yeah. But representing the United States Air Force. So he got a chance to do quite a bit of that, and is recognized for that talent just as much as for his talent as a security policeman. He also, if I recall correctly, gets picked up below the zone for senior. So once again, that talent is recognized, and the Air Force sees it, and he gets promoted early. And so the journey continues, this transformation continues. It's time to leave the Pacific, hang up the basketball jerseys for the NBA, right? Not so much. And come back to the United States. And his next assignment as a security policeman is to Langley Air Force Base, Virginia. He is tagged to report to the wing out there. And by that time, the Air Force is also transforming. And the new headquarters for Air Combat Command is at Langley Air Force Base. At Langley Air Force Base, Link is recognized for his talent, and he's asked to stand up the Elite Gate Guard once again. So he fits into that task very easily, gets the ball rolling on that. But that doesn't last too long because he's recognized for his talents, and he's handpicked by the Director of Protocol for Air Combat Command to fill an executive support position on the headquarters ACC staff, which is pretty significant. And so he gets to do that for a few years. During that period of time, he serves 3 different 4-star generals that are commanders of ACC. Quite a bit of exposure, a lot of responsibility, but no surprise, we're ready to handle those sorts of things. And he continues on. it's during that period of time that he also tests for staff sergeant and gets promoted first time around. No surprise, right? And is moving right along. But his tour at Langley Air Force Base is I think a pivotal event, a huge milestone in his transformation of where he finds himself at today. He has the opportunity, filling that executive support position, to meet a special agent by the name of John Ancelotti. John Ancelotti is a friend of mine, and John's a good scout of talent. And he saw something in Link that he knew would be something that the command OSI could definitely use. So he has some conversations with Link about, hey, have you considered cross-training into Air Force OSI? Have you considered finishing your degree? Have you considered getting commissioned? All of these things play into Link's mind and definitely accepts the challenge. So he pursues his undergraduate degree while he's at Langley Air Force Base, completes that with a degree in criminology through St. Leo's University. He begins to actively compete and apply for officer training school as well as for OSI. But during that period of time, he gets reassigned also now with even more responsibility as he becomes the non-commissioner in charge of the Personnel Information Security Section for the Air Force Command and Control, Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Center at Langley Air Force Base. So even that much more responsibility. So we're already approaching 1998, 1999 time frame. He applies himself after completing his degree for OTS and for OSI, and lo and behold, he's selected. Competes for those positions, is accepted for officer training school, and that transformation and metamorphosis starts again. This time, he's headed toward officer training school. But at the same time, lo and behold, he gets picked up for tech sergeant first time around. So now you got a choice. Okay, you take that strike, or you go ahead and demote yourself and become a butter bar instead. So he goes ahead and go ahead and demote himself. So he goes off to training school, completes that program successfully, turns down the strike, accepts the bar as a lieutenant, gets commissioned in the United States Air Force, takes the oath as an officer, and at the same time, gets notified of his assignment to OSI duty to one of the officer positions within the OSI. So, it's now 2000. He gets his orders to report for training to the OSI Academy, which at that time was headquartered at Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland. And he shows up as a brand new minted second lieutenant to get his training as an OSI special. He begins his training, successfully completes that. So now not only is he a brand new minted second lieutenant, he's also a brand new minted OSI special agent. He's got his badge and credentials and he's ready to roll. Okay? So Amy now gets the word, we're going to Little Rock Air Force Base, Arkansas. Right? You're pretty excited, aren't you? So, Lieutenant Lincoln and Amy report to their first OSI unit at Little Rock, and it's a great assignment for a brand new OSI special agent. Lincoln gets put in charge of running the drug enforcement team, running narcotics investigations, sexual assault investigations, of course, are in there somewhere, and all kinds of other responsibilities associated with that. But once again, his talent as an officer now, and as an individual and as a leader is recognized. And he gets tagged the second year out at Little Rock to go and be the interim commander for the OSI unit Advanced Air Force Base, Oklahoma. So, opportunity to tag. So he goes out to Advanced Air Force Base, he does exceptionally well, fills the gap until a new commander comes in and he relinquishes his command, Advance, reports back to Little Rock, and boom, they get orders again. It's time to move. Where are we headed to this time? Well, now it's time for that transformation of just being a field special agent to actually becoming a specialized investigator. In this case, it was for white-collar crime. He reports to San Antonio to the large fraud unit that we have here to basically run white-collar crime. So now Amy and Link report to San Antonio, and he begins once again his investigative responsibilities, but this time in a much more specialized field, working white-collar crime. He's in that job not too long, and now First Lieutenant Link. Once again, his talents are recognized, and he is tagged for deployment. This is now approximately 2003. 2003, what's going on in the world? We're very much in the Middle East. You got Iraq, you got Afghanistan, and lots of deployments, lots of expeditionary missions with the United States Air Force. And Link is tasked to be the protective security, or personal security advisor to the senior Air Force general in theater, which we refer to as the CFAC, the Air Component Commander. And his responsibility is to ensure that that general officer is taken care of as far as personal security, no matter where he goes. And so that meant quite a bit of travel. He was headquartered at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, but they traveled throughout the Middle East, into theater on a regular basis into Iraq, Afghanistan, into some pretty non-permissive type environments. And Link was there by his side all the time, ensuring that all the proper security and adequate resources were in place to make sure that general officer could do his job. He did it exceptionally well. So it's time to redeploy. So Link comes back to Texas just in time to tell Amy, hey, we got orders. And this time he gets orders to report out to MacDill Air Force Base. So let me get a feel here. So you guys went, okay, so you were in Virginia, did some time out in Arkansas, Texas, and now you're heading to Florida. Okay, so MacDill Air Force Base, headquarters for U.S. Central Command. And Link is being assigned to the OSI unit at MacDill, but he's actually attached as an OSI liaison officer to Central Command headquarters. And once again, his skills as far as a communicator, interacting with folks, being able to get the task done, it just makes him shine. He stands out. Okay, and he does that job exceptionally well. But he's not satisfied. He wants more of a challenge. And so during this period of time, he wants to pursue an area specialty within OSI, which are basically referred to as our area specialist program. And it's fairly competitive. It's an advanced degree along with language training. And he applies for it. He competes for it and is accepted. It's at the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, California. So now, Florida, California, it's pretty good. And he gets accepted. And the area is for Latin American area studies. So he's going to go and get a master's degree in that particular area and then follow through with language training to learn Spanish. Taxpayer money at work. So, Link and Amy pack it up after their tour at MacDill, and they head out to Monterey, California, and they're there for a couple of years. This is now 2007. Okay? Successfully complete the academic requirements out there. Language training goes great. I think you had a chance also sitting in class as well, didn't you? No? No? Bummer. And they get orders. And the next assignment is going to be out to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Arizona, headquarters for Air Force South. And OSI has a special office that's actually attached to that Air Force headquarters with the sole function of supporting the Air Force downrange in Latin America. And so Link reports to Air Force South as the Deputy Director of what's referred to as Operating Location Bravo for the 2nd Fleet Investigations Region. And he's an extension of that regional headquarters staff, which is actually Atlanta Air Force Base. That office has the responsibilities of all kinds of operational support for all Air Force activity in Latin America. That includes deployments for exercises, engagement with foreign counterparts as far as subject matter exchanges, a lot of it's force protection, making sure that our folks are being taken care of. And Link spends an awful lot of time downrange doing that sort of thing. One of the big ones that we supported, if you recall, was the earthquake in Haiti and the humanitarian effort that occurred as a result of that. All the Air Force activity down in that area, from a force protection standpoint, was followed through the office that Link was the Deputy Director for. So it's a very busy time. Okay? It only gets busier, and the challenge for Link arises even much more. We need a commander out at Barksdale Air Force Base. And Link is tapped while at Davis-Monthan to go and, once again, put on his commander's hat and fulfill that responsibility. And he does it exceptionally well. By now, it's Major League. You're heroic Major. And this is command responsibilities and reports back to Davis Moffitt because the director position is now vacant, and we need to fill it, and he's the guy for the job. And so we have now Major Lee become the director of that office, of that unit, and it just gets that much busier. Lots of activity downrange, lots of TDYs, on and on. But he does it exceptionally well. But he can't stay there forever. It's time to move. And so, orders come again. Tells Amy we're headed back to Texas. But this time, he's coming to the Air Force Personnel Center. And his responsibilities will be to ensure that Air Force OSI gets the talent it needs as far as officers and managing officer assignments. And he does that job exceptionally well, ensuring that all of those various programs are properly managed and that the use of those individuals is done correctly. And he does it exceptionally well. And here we find ourselves at today, at this current present moment in time, 25 years of active service. And I've skipped an awful lot about the way. I just want to kind of give you guys a short summary of what basically he has achieved in that transformation from citizen civilian to airman to non-commissioned officer to field grade officer. But it doesn't end here. The journey doesn't end, right? It's just a chapter. A new chapter begins here pretty soon. When Amy and Link leave active duty, you know, there's still a lot more to do, and so that transformation continues. And what is entailed or coming up next is a new chapter. And although Link will be leaving active duty and moving into civilian life, he's not really hanging up the uniform because he's going to be a junior ROTC instructor at the high school level, helping shape and influence young minds that aspire to come into the ranks of the United States Air Force and be like you all out here in the audience. And I can't think of a more perfect role model to do that sort of thing. Major Lee. So, how do you go about summarizing all of this then? He is not the same person that came through the gates of Lackland Air Force Base in 1990. He is a completely different person, right? That transformation has occurred. And I think what we instead have now, instead of that young man that came through the gates of Lackland Air Force Base, we have an individual which is a reflection of our Air Force core values, which is integrity, excellence in all that we do, and service before self. And I think he summarizes those three things without a doubt. Right? So he leaves the ranks, Amy leaves the ranks. As a nation and as an Air Force, we are forever grateful for their service. There's no way to really kind of pay them back for that. All that we can simply do is say thank you to him and to Amy, to the family. We wish them the very best of luck in that new chapter. And Godspeed. All right. So, why don't we go ahead and decorate you for the retirement?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the medal presentation and remain standing for the reading of the retirement order. Citation to accompany the award of Meritorious Service First Oak Leaf Cluster to Major Eldrick D. Link from 3 July 2012 to 1 November 2015. Major Eldrick D. Link distinguished himself in performance of outstanding service to the United States Air Force as Chief Air Force Office of Special Investigations Officer Assignments, Line Officer Assignments Division, Directorate of Assignments and Air Expeditionary Force Operations, Headquarters Air Force Personnel Center, Joint Base San Antonio, Randolph, Texas. During this period, Major Link's leadership was critical as he expertly coordinated officer assignments and complex personnel programs which directly enabled the Air Force Office of Special Investigations to identify and neutralize criminal threats across the globe. Further, he provided critical mentorship to more than 350 officers, and accomplished more than 331 permanent change of station actions valued at approximately $6 million. Major Link also skillfully led 6 direct accession boards, which considered 413 applicants from the Air Force Academy, Officer Training School, and Reserve Officer Training Corps, and ultimately resulted in 69 individuals being selected for special agent positions. Finally, Major Link orchestrated 3 combined development team boards which facilitated the review of more than 1,100 records and ensured appropriate future force development actions for officers, civilians, and reserve agents. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major Link culminated in a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Signed, Keith M. Givens, Brigadier General, United States Air Force Office of Special Investigations, Commander.
Publish the orders.
Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Washington, D.C., Special Order Alpha Charlie 009515. Major Eldrick D. Link, you are relieved from active duty after 25 years and 18 days. From the Air Force Office of Special Investigations and the Air Force Personnel Center, Joint Base San Antonio, Randolph, Texas. Retired effective 1 November 2015 in the grade of Major by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Colonel Morales will now present the Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces, which reads, "This is to certify that Major Eldrick D. Link, having served faithfully and honorably, is retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of November 2015. Signed, Mark A. Welsh III, General, United States Air Force, Chief of Staff." Colonel Morales will now present the Certificate of Service in the Armed Forces of the United States, which reads, "I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for the contributions of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of a nation during a critical time in its history with the devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice. In keeping with the proud traditions of military service, your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps. And for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future." Signed, Barack H. Obama, Commander-in-Chief. Amy, please come forward and join your husband. We ask your assistance in a small but meaningful presentation. Amy will now place the official retirement pin on Major Link's lapel.
Get you the 3 cups of coffee at the and retire.
Colonel Morales will now recognize Amy for the many contributions she has made toward her husband's successful career. The Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Air Force reads, "In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents the Certificate of Recognition to Amy Link for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for your support, which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service." Signed, Mark A. Welsh III, General, United States Air Force, Chief of Staff. Thank
Or
you.
I want to say one thing real quick, just to interject. This certificate is extremely important because, as you all know, for Air Force spouses, the Air Force member is not successful without their support. And they don't fly solo. Nobody flies solo. Lynn did not fly solo. Okay, he was by himself. And that's very, very important.
Thank you, Colonel Morales. Thank you, Amy.
Ms. Evans, if you'll please come forward to present the memento from Headquarters Air Force Office of Special Investigations.
Something a little bit different. Because it's OSI, because we're also airmen in OSI, there's a battle that's going on. It's going on, has been for many, many years. It's the battle between good and evil. Eldridge Link is a soldier in that battle. He's an airman in that battle. And he has been his whole life. And the fact that he's going to this next assignment touches my heart. You've influenced me because you've been there for me. My first year at OSI was really tough because of the things I didn't understand about the way people operate. And you walked me through things. You touched me so much. So I saw him as kind of my angel at AFPC. And as I was talking about it to the folks at the office, we decided there was no saying that shared with us that was very popular during the pioneer times, the time during which we received our independence as a nation. An angel in your home will guard your family night and day. And so this is a little bit odd, so please bear with me here. A little different. There's an artist who produces wood carvings, and they often make them into replicas of them. And this one, someone said, looked like Amy, so we got it. But the beauty of it was that the bottom it says, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb's bursting in there. And it's an angel. And on the back for you, we said, Major Albert Link, Airman, Agent, Protector, thank you for your parents. So,
Lieutenant Whitley, please bring the shadow box forward. The shadow box, steeped in military tradition, is customarily presented to the United States military personnel on the occasion of their retirement from active duty. Shadow boxes are given in recognition of an individual's sustained and selfless dedication to our nation and the United States Air Force. It allows your accomplishments, ranks, insignias, medals, coins, and badges to be the focus of attention. We hope you display your shadow box in a prominent place where all who see it will know that you, Major Eldridge Link, served your country with dedication, sacrifice, and above all else, honor. Thank you, Lieutenant Whitley. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Major Eldridge D. Link, United States Air Force, retired.
Thank you all very much. I know those of you in the audience that really know me well are hoping and praying that I keep this short, sweet, and to the point, and I will. I promise I'll keep this under 10 minutes. First and foremost, and I'm going to read because obviously I'm overcoming some emotions right now. First and foremost, thanks to each and every one of you for sharing this very special day with the most important people in my life. To our senior guests, I know you have extremely busy schedules, so a special thank you for making time today. Ms. Evans, thank you for traveling all the way from Quantico. You said that I've helped you, you've helped me as well. And I've got a few more things I'd like to share with you after the ceremony. Colonel Morrison, thank you as well on many levels. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Colonel Keeling, yes sir, thank you. Colonel Keeling, thank you for being here as well. My old boss, sitting in the back, Senior Master Sergeant Retired Rodea Perry, thank you for being here, sir. I think it's been, what, about 22 years, 21, 22 years, wow. All right. Today is all about giving thanks, okay? To my wife, to my parents, to my grandmother, who could be here, my sister, and my aunt, and of course my closest friends as well. And I ultimately give thanks to God for each of them, because without their love, support, motivation, and honest feedback, I assure you I wouldn't be standing here right now, much less as a retired military professional. All right, let me get it together. Before I focus on my family and friends, though, I'd like to take a very brief moment to personally thank the people who have made this ceremony, a ceremony for my family, not me, possible today. April and Gerald Torrey, my church fam, I love y'all. All right. When those two heard about my retirement, they did not hesitate to step up. In fact, they planned, organized, prepared every facet of today's reception, so please enjoy things afterwards. I also want to thank Major Goodwin and Major Hodge. You two have been fantastic teammates. Special Agent Bancroft, my replacement, Special Agent Jimmy Martinez, and Special Agent Tracy Simmons. You three have also been great, and I really appreciate it. Shannon takes very good care of my dog whenever Amy and I are out of town, so you know I'm indebted to her. And Jimmy has been incredibly helpful in so many levels, too. You too, Tracy. In the interest of time, I simply want to thank my entire Rogue Assignments team, the entire Joint Base San Antonio OSI team, and everyone else who made this event possible, from Lieutenant Whitley, who just literally returned within the last few days from a deployment this week, to the sound team, the flag detail, everyone. Okay, Colonel Morales, sir, I want to thank you for presiding today. As you already know, Amy and I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. You and Miss Rosie have invited us into your beautiful home. You've always been a tremendous and consistent leader. You taught me how to fish with respect to my new job and the transition. And the thing I appreciate the most is this. You have never handed me anything. You communicated with me. You made me feel as though I was truly a part of the team. And you put me in a position to further succeed in the Air Force had I not been so adamant to remain here in San Antonio. So again, thank you for opportunity and a genuine long-term friendship, sir. To my dogs, second row. Troy, thanks for the beautiful invocation. I apologize for not truly prepping you for that. They won't hold it against you. They understand. And I certainly won't. Troy, Lamont, Tins, Lim, Will, Brian, I love y'all. These guys have been such great and true friends for so many years that it's somewhat difficult for me to make new friends on a deep level because they've truly raised the bar so high. We push and support each other. We pray for one another. We sincerely care about our respective families. We take joy in each other's accomplishments. And we occasionally enjoy those accomplishments over cold beverages, cheap cigars, things that men do. And it's all genuine. These guys are real. Aunt Gretchen, I love you. You know that. For as long as I can remember, you've always been a positive and motivating influence in my life. You're like a second mom, and I appreciate you, so I've got something for you. Yes, allergies. Next up, Shonda, my loving big sister, my protective big sister. Thank you for being my friend and my confidant. You've always had my back, and I'll always have yours too. When I was about 10 years old, this random evil kid stole my Hostess cupcakes. I'm not lying. Y'all remember those pink ones with the sprinkles on them? Well, my sister found that kid and literally beat the hell out of that kid. I'm not lying. So the moral of the story is, don't mess with Link's cupcakes or his sister will get you. Unfortunately, though, that kid had already eaten my cupcakes. He was all bruised, had sprinkles all over his face. So I got a token of appreciation for you. It truly is good at eating. You're right. This is beautiful. All right. I'm going to hold it together, moms and pops. Words clearly are not enough to express how indebted I am and how thankful I am to both of you for such a wonderful childhood and adult life. Thank you for stressing the importance of higher education, first appearances, community service, having outstanding credit, surrounding myself with positive people and respected people, striving for continuous improvement, home ownership, among many other things too. I remember as a very young child seeing my mom and dad custom build their home back in the 1970s with the U.S. flag out front. As a result of seeing that, seeing how they operated throughout life, I knew I had it in my DNA to work hard, be successful in life, build my own home with the U.S. flag out front, and help others too in that process. More importantly though, thanks for teaching me the importance of having Christ in my life and being there every step of the way, period, throughout my life. In the Air Force, we talk a lot about core values, integrity, service before self, excellence in all we do. Y'all have been actually, demonstrating that, for as long as I can remember. And I will always honor you until the day we die. Got something for you too. You don't have to open it right now. Okay. I owe my wife $20 because I told her I wasn't going to cry. So, as soon as I walked in, she's like this. Okay. Last but certainly not least, Amy, my queen, my rock, my best friend. My Air Force journey has been incredible because of you. We have truly lived. And I couldn't have accomplished all that I did without your love, support, warmth, sacrifice, and patience, babe. Gotta admit, though, things have been relatively stressful around the Link household for several months. After all, retiring from the military after a quarter century, and Amy has been there for me throughout every assignment, I might add, is a very significant life event. Let's just say my queen and I have had some differences of opinion on a few occasions. I don't care how prepared you are or think you are or how good you think your exit strategy is. The retirement process in and of itself is a stressor, and it caused me on a couple of occasions to reassess things. Stay with me. One day I decided to write down on a piece of paper why I'm married to this wonderful woman. And here are a few things that immediately came to mind. She loves the Lord, and she's real with it. She respects herself and others. She has put up with me for over 23 years. She is truly exceptional. She is a beautiful person inside and out. She's intelligent. She graduated first in her class at Hampton University. I remember this young woman used to walk to school to get her undergraduate degree in the snow and work by day. We had one car. Of course, I had to go to work. But that's how she is. She's trustworthy and reliable. She's fun. She's fine, not fine, fine. She's like a smoking body. She has made every single one of our homes absolutely beautiful and full of warmth. She has always demonstrated her love for my family, demonstrated it, not just said it, actually demonstrated it. She's highly professional and unselfish. She's donated tens of thousands of dollars and volunteered countless hours of her time to help others, even strangers. I took her to Vegas one time to celebrate her birthday. We went to a Brazilian restaurant. You know how expensive Brazilian restaurants can be, okay? I mean, it's her birthday, we're celebrating her. I don't know exactly what happened, but there was like some cab driver that was down and out on his luck or whatever. I mean, you could see that he was salivating, he wanted to eat there. She gave this man, she didn't even know this guy, but she felt so moved to give this guy $100 to go and enjoy a meal at the Brazilian steakhouse. That's the woman I married. She has supported my troops, my teammates, and their families, and the list goes on and on and on. And I can't tell you how many times throughout the course of my career she has lifted me up when I came home venting about one thing or another. Her response would often be, "Look, dude, we're Lynx. We don't quit and we're tougher than that." Time and time and time and time again, she has been there for me even when I didn't deserve it. So, babe, I have something for you, but of course, no words or gifts can express how grateful I am to have you in my life and to have had you by my side throughout my military career. I love you without question and always will. Okay, I'm wrapping it up, y'all. I know I promised I'd keep it quick. Okay, next we're going to see a flag folding presentation. There are several versions of the words associated with this presentation. I was going to use the version that associates the flag with the body of Christ, but I was told that it's illegal to use that version and it goes against the military establishment. That's fine. I acquiesced, and I will use the official verbiage, but I want to make one thing perfectly clear before this flag is presented. That flag, the nice homes, the nice cars, the nice clothes, etc., don't mean a thing to me if I don't have God in my life. Because He is ultimately responsible for me having my health, my wife, my family, my friends, my pension, this wonderful life that I have, and that flag that's about to walk down the aisle. Thank you all so much for coming. I love each and every one of you in this room. I do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And to my home team, we're going to have a good time this weekend. Thank you very much.
At this time, we have a very special presentation for Major Link. Technical Sergeant Asper and Senior Airman Dixon will ceremoniously fold an American flag in Major Link's honor. For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white, and a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence. and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally, a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both at home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations of Air Force satellites that circle our globe, and on the fin flash of our aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the hearts of every airman who serve our great nation. The sun never sets on our U.S. Air Force, nor on the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving the freedom that others won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict on lands and in the skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we as Americans enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope to one and to all. Long may it wave. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Thank you, Tech Sergeant Asper and Senior Airman Dixon. Extremely well done. Major Length, the men and the women of the United States Air Force, the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, and the Air Force Personnel Center are proud to have served with you. Please know that you will always be a part of the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, the Air Force Personnel Center, and the Air Force family. We wish you every success and much happiness as you begin your new career next week. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you for joining us today.